Hey there everybody, how you doing? I am Francis and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Side Stories. So last episode we finished off Balance and now we're moving on to the next side story, which is Reflection, which looks like it's going to be a story about Yuri and Monika. Well, let's just jump into this and let's see what this is going to be. Begin the side story? Yes. Here we go. I like how these stories always open with nice music before things, go bad. Am I bothering you? No.
Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt.
Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. Okay, that's fair.
That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding.
It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work. So it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone being too silly for me to keep up with. You know what, that makes sense. I'm kinda the same way, Yuri. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air. But the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Oh, Sayori, we love you.
Maybe I should say something?
No need, they just run out of cookie. What a waste. Wouldn't surprise me any though if Sayori tries to eat it off the floor.
They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy.
Yeah, especially after the last episode. Last story, Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on an energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. That's probably why they get along so well, because they're both full of energy,
Yeah, come to think of it. You and I haven't had many chances to talk one-on-one, have we?
That's true, yeah.
Though that may be particularly my fault since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members.
Not at all. I probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage.
Well, what about times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends?
I just read.
Oh.
But I like it that way. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes.
Do you always read fantasy?
Oh, no, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of this series. There are still 2 more books after this one.
I guess those long books suit you well since you spend so much time reading.
Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I read anything with depth and maturity.
Oh yeah? Even romance?
Well, these are a lot of books that have elements of romance in... Yuri. Girl. Romance novels. Books that have elements of romance in them. They're romance novels. I'd be surprised if there wasn't romance in them.
Oh, come on, Yuri. You know what I mean.
Monika lowers her voice.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do too.
Maybe. More when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely and people were mean to me a lot. Why is Yuri, by the way, so relatable? So it kind of felt like, please don't make me think about the past.
Sorry, I just got super curious. We should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun.
Absolutely not.
Really? Even if it was just between us?
Try asking someone who has no shame like Natsuki. Wow. Wow, Yuri, wow.
Ouch!
That was my thoughts. Sorry. I swear I didn't mean that.
Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past. You know, things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience.
There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interest. It makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. I hope she doesn't. Hey, were you talking about me? Yeah, sorry girl.
No, we were just, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki?
Like a couple years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. Okay, that's fair.
Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get more into it?
I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I just had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be by myself.
Hey, kind of like Yuri. Monika. Sorry.
That's completely wrong, so...
It's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times.
You know it! Yeah. Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? Yeah, it's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? Probably up to the ceiling. Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long so that I can say I read more than you. Not that I have the money for that, after all. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. Uh-oh. This isn't gonna start a fight, is it? I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. Oh boy. It's not boring. Chill, I said for me, not for you. Yeah, exactly. Everyone has different interests, you know. Like Yuri, you probably find Natsuki's manga boring. I can have my own opinion. I just think it's too convoluted.
Sayuri, are those from the floor?
Did I not say this earlier? I said it would surprise me if she was eating the cookie off the floor, and turns out that's what she's doing. Gross! Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The oils are there even if you can't see them. And plus you were just eating cookies off the floor, Sayori. Fine. Sayori trots out of the door and Natsuki follows. Well, okay then. It's back to us by ourselves.
Yuri, you look a little upset.
What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? She didn't say it was boring, Yuri. She just said it's not something that she would enjoy. That doesn't mean it's boring, like maybe she could have rephrased it, but she was saying that it's not something she would enjoy, like it's not for her. She's not saying there's anything wrong with it, you can like it if you want. Just saying, you know. Like for example, I'm not much of a book person myself. I'm barely, well, you know, like do any reading. Like the only reading I do are basically in games like this for you guys, right? But I'm not gonna put down anybody that likes reading. Like if that's something you're into, that's cool. That's something you enjoy, you know. That's fine. Just like stuff I do on this channel, or even like some of the games I play in my free time, are probably not for everybody, and that's cool, you know. We're free to enjoy what we enjoy. Just because like you enjoy something I don't enjoy doesn't mean it's boring. Maybe it'd be boring to me if I tried it myself, but that doesn't mean that it's, you know, boring. It's Is what I'm saying here making sense? I know I'm trying to put a lot into this to make it make sense, but you guys are getting what I'm trying to say, right?
Well, she did correct herself.
Hardly. She was so condescending. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me. So how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it?
I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in a literature club. So I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly.
Thank you.
Okay, well, this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you.
Common ground isn't necessary. I just wish to be respected. I thought she was being respectful though.
Then, either way, I'll do my best.
I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monika, but I'm skeptical. That's fair, I guess.
Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Leisure Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other.
Aren't you being a little dramatic about this?
This is important to me.
Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused of something.
No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if I came off that way, but our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Loser Club, don't you think? I'm sure we're going to have a difference in opinion a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club.
If you say so.
Sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thoughts. This goes for poetry, narrative, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Sayuri, what's your favorite food?
I have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks? Or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh jeez. You should have thought of a better topic for Sayori when it comes to food. Oh, Sayori, we love you.
Okay, how about your favorite fruit?
That's easy, cherries.
Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty.
What? Cherries are delicious.
Oh, that's a pretty strong reaction.
Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. I see what Monika is doing. She's using this as an example of what she wanted to talk about, like, using words and, trying to keep a positive atmosphere. I see what she's doing here.
How does it make you feel?
I don't know. Sad?
Defensive, maybe?
Yeah, I got defensive.
See? The reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language.
So yeah, Monika was doing what I was thinking. She was using Sayori's favorite food as an example.
I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty.
Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was only your own opinion?
it has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like, Sayori, let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty.
Good?
So, what if I instead of that, I said like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy.
Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word.
Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about the cherries, I just talked about my feelings, and Sayori didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we receive an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not going to quiz you or something.
I know that. I was just,
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far?
yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings.
Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to turn your differences into positive experience rather than an argument. Right, Sayori?
Whatever you say, cherry hater.
Oh, come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate.
What the heck? I've been duped. Yep.
I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later.
Yeah, I don't think really it matters what fruit you said. Sayori would have said, Monika would have said it was nasty. On that topic, guys, I would like to present a question to you guys. What is your favorite fruit? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. You want to know what my favorite fruit is? I like peaches. Peaches and apples. How about you guys? Let me know. Anyways.
I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae?
You're welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Buying your people's loyalty. How deplorable. I mean, it works, Yuri. Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri? You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. I was reading and not keeping track of them, and
Well, that's enough. We're getting off topic here. So now we have the gist of it. How will we try it with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion.
Oh, this could be bad. God, choose your words carefully when it comes to Natsuki and her beloved manga.
Yuri, do you want to start?
You're really putting me on the spot. I'd rather not know.
Oh, how come?
Well, because, I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight, you see.
No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion.
Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not gonna butt your head off over a difference of opinion. I'm not a child. You don't have to cuddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. That's coming from a person that has a hard time, with speaking their mind. Respectable? Yuri's expression changes at that word. As Monika recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri.
Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like,
It's fine. I have nothing against anyone's personality. They're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say that manga's for children or something. Like, I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Uh-oh.
Okay, hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it?
Oh boy. Well, Yuri did warn Natsuki that, I really shouldn't say anything. It might start a fight, and it looks like it might happen. Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Yep. Uh-oh. Monika, you should have thought this over.
Natsuki?
Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring.
Boring isn't subjective.
Okay, it bores me. That's subjective.
But, I mean, the thing about...
This is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making assumptions now. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just, being myself and trying to mind my own business. What, have you looked in the mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all of my interests immature. You can't. Please stop. Please. You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. Oh dear. Yeah, Monika, I think you screwed up. This is not going the way you envisioned.
I didn't mean for this to happen.
Yeah, I know you didn't, but this is kind of the way I saw it going. Well, it did. So please, don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yeah, you didn't fix the problem. If anything, you made it worse. Yuri's piercing words send the courtroom into a choked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy shit. Holy crap. I never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed.
Well, you weren't very nice either, so...
I was just saying. How did this happen?
It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do.
It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it...
That's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things, it's about just recognizing and understanding our differences.
Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It was nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you're trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her. Not just like the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She is a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should.
It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow, I'm just like saying that instinctively. Last time I said that, I just made things worse. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems.
This wasn't your fault, Monika. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out. Because I can just move on now. But, it's fine, I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Oh, I can tell.
Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience for us all.
Monika says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This is bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monika sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Possibly. Monika desperately doesn't want to admit that, but she knows Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Wow, that was heavy. Alright, well, I guess we'll see how this reflection is resolved in the next episode. Holy cow, Monika did goof. Like, I know what Monika was trying to do, but yeah, that went south really fast. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time as we resolve reflection. Thank you for joining me. Have a nice day. Bye, everybody.